Good morning. It feels like a Saturday, but it's just nice out in the morning. All fueled up at the Costco. I'm ready to head out to go see George Sanchez of GS Amp Repair, who I'm not a fan of, but I still send people his way because he does good work. He's just kind of expensive and snobby in my opinion. There was it's like, what was it? He does a lot of JL audio repairs, and he just cares a lot about his image, and you know, basically doesn't want to be associated with me, or doesn't want me even advertising for him because I'm shameful or I'm gross or whatever. You know, and to somebody like JL Audio, I can totally see that. But yeah, George used to work for Rockford, and then when they closed up shop here, they closed up all the manufacturing here, and they moved it over to Asia. I think they bought their own island over there. But and then he went to work for Tony Baloney, Tony DeMore, and Juan. And then Tony closed up shop because I think he moved back to Cali. And so now he just works from home, repairing amps, mostly for like expensive brands like JL, Audison, Hertz, and of course he does old school stuff. You know, he's a good technician, just really expensive in my point of view. But yeah, and one of the things that I think just kind of really put me over the top, because I sent him a job that paid like $20,000, and he thought it was on his own accord, and I was like, no, I sent you that job. You know, the guys at Recoil asked me if I knew anybody that was really good, and I said, yeah, you. And so, you know, in my opinion, I felt like, you know, he owed me like basically 10%. I didn't want cash, I just wanted repairs, and so I had a whole bunch of like Eclipse amps and some other stuff that I thought collectors would like, and you know, what do you know? It just, he never got around to it. He was like, he didn't want to work on them. That's what it came down to. And then when it came out that he, you know, he's like, hey man, can you not promote me? Because you know, I want JL as a client, and I know you don't like them. And I'm like, there's a reason why I don't like them. And again, it's not their product, it's just their attitude. But you know, he wanted to be of that same sort of elite status. And one of the things that I dropped off as a favor to the guys at Recoil was these, it was an M7 little pill bug set screw for the JL Audio 500/1s and the 1000/1s. It's for the power. And it's just an oddball, but it's metric. It's, you know, again, all that stuff is made in China, and then it, you know, if they do assembly here, whatever. But so we ordered like a big 1,000 piece box for him, and I was supposed to drop that off with some other stuff, and I dropped it off, and I was like, you know what? I said, let me get some of these, and so I grabbed a handful and put them in my pocket, and I was like, basically, we're done. Like, I don't ever want to come back over here. And you know, so some people, I think I was still subscribed to his Instagram page at the time. Again, you can look it up. I think it's at GS Amp Repair or Amplifier Repair. I don't know. When you Google it, it comes up usually in the first couple of results. So, but and it's called GS, not for Gordon and Sims or whatever, something else, GS Redline or anything like that. His name is George Sanchez, so it's his name. But so those little screws that basically I give away for free, maybe that's my downfall, but He charges $20 each for them. You know, he got them as just like free as part of the deal. I mean, and not that, you know, I want to, you know, like if you find a bar of gold, sell it for a bar, you know, sell it for the price, sell it for market price. I disagree with $20 per set screw as market price. We'll put it like that. So I think that was the thing that put me over the top, and then I just basically told him to fuck off, and I don't ever want to talk to him. And every time his name comes up, I'm like, the guy's a dick. I don't want to deal with him. And so what do you know? There was another placement error on the machine in China on these amps that I got, more of these amps. And it's just one little device. It's like a little diode that costs like 10 cents. And I told Larry, I was like, dude, I'll do these for 20 bucks each. And I'll do, you know, free transportation. And he's like, no, the company's paying for it. And I was like, right, but I owe you like $8,000. Like, can you, you know, give me a chance to earn this, you know, to pay that off? And he's like, nope. And so, and then he's like, are you willing to take them out to Georgia? I was like, yeah, I can be a professional. I mean, I'm going to make a video about it and talk shit about him. So but, you know, I can be a professional as far as he's concerned. But, yeah, I'm just going to go there and drop him off at his house. And I don't know. It's like, it's this weird thing. There's a lot of, and I was sitting there trying to pitch the guys at Recoil, like, dude, I've been a technician for like 30 years, and I'm like certified in the Air Force, and I did, you know, rework with Bernie Boland. I even told Larry that, you know, like, do you remember the Diamond Audio's amps that you guys sent to scrap? Yeah, I took 60 of those, the Diamond D6 1200.1, which is a very nice amp. It's very pretty. And I said, we fixed about 60 of those. and we just hung out at Bernie's house, and you know, Bernie shows off his drumming skills and talks about his life. And but Bernie would basically troubleshoot the amp, and then he would put these little arrows on them. They're little like tech arrows of parts that need to be changed, and I would sit there and solder them out, and then we'd test the board again, and if the board tested good, then we stick it in the heatsink, and then we test it again, and then once it passes that, then we just button it up, and that's the end of it. And again, we did a lot of them, and I was trying to, you know, pitch Larry about it, and he's like, I don't want to hear it. I was like, okay. So, but yeah, and I don't like to fix amps, by the way. I get a lot of inquiries about that. They're like, do you fix amps? I was like, there's two things I don't like about it, which is, number one is the troubleshooting thing. Number two is all the labor involved with basically unbuttoning them and then buttoning them back up. It's a kind of a pain in the butt, and you gotta, you know, it's gotta be worth it. Now, if you're doing a big run like this, so, because I think George is charging like probably 25 bucks each, and there's 240 amplifiers. So he's got to process all those. And I was like, I'll do them for 20 bucks each. And because I think, what was it? Recoil's got to pay me to take these out here too. So I'll be interested to find out how much I get for that. So, because it's not just trucking them out here and all the fuel. It's I gotta hand unload them and get them on his porch, and then of course when they're done, I gotta come and pick them up. Oh, I wanted to stop at this Wendy's. Is it this Wendy's? Oh, what? It's a fucking El Pollo Loco now. What? Is that past Gilbert? Yeah, that used to be a fucking Wendy's. God damn it, Wendy's. I wanted some breakfast. So anyways, I guess no breakfast for me. Anyways, this morning we got a shipping container coming in, and there's a couple new products on there that I want to demo for you guys. The DI 1200.1, which is a 2-ohm version of the RED 1200.1, and that's because a lot of guys just have they got married to Alpine amps or kicker amps that are only 2 ohm stable, and they need a good replacement. So that's what that's going to be for, and we'll send that out to who is it? Lance over there at Hi-Fi Vector, and we'll get him to put them on the dyno, so that way we don't have to pay a slot fee with Big D. and you don't want to sit there and owe him any favors, but I was going through your comments this morning, and one of the things that came up was Big Jeff. So I had no idea what was going on. The only time I heard of Big Jeff was from Bass Dad's complaints, and I tell you what, I do not like Bass Dad more and more. He's just a spoiled little piece of garbage. Entitled. What I think is Bass Dad is a good representative of the kind of clients that want to be special, that want to be important, that want to feel like they're really doing something as far as like purchasing an item, and that's not how it works in reality. But it doesn't stop people from feeling those feelings. Well, I paid good money, I paid $200, blah 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 blah. $200 ain't shit in car audio. But yeah, neither here nor there. There was some controversy about Jeff hitting 1 million subscribers, and Jeff actually reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be on the podcast, and I was just really busy at the time, so I said, well, let me check out your links and all that kind of stuff. And I checked out his website, I checked out some of his videos, and it's just another sales site. A lot of his prices are really, really cheap, and he's gonna put somebody like Wholesale House out of business. Some of the stuff I think he's market limited on, and he does really big numbers. The biggest controversy about Big Jeff is that excuse me, he didn't he paid for his subscribers, and I'm like, well, you got to understand, everybody pays for their subscribers. On Instagram, I had 8,200 followers on there before I took a poison pill and my account got hijacked. And but it's funny, I think that most of those were just bots. I don't think they were real followers or subscribers. I didn't pay for them, but sometimes when you get popular, and I think I hit it at the right time, and I think the rules, it was before a lot of the rules changed for Instagram, before they started kicking out a lot of bots, or using AI to sort of sense that stuff. Because it's funny, under the Robot Underground account, I get kicked out of my I get logged out of my account all the time. They're like, oh, we sensed what is it, automated something or other, and I'm like, no, it's just me. So they do that sometimes whenever you subscribe to or follow too many people at once. So because they did that to me on the Jugs Global page, and I could understand that. It was also a brand new account, and I'm like, they're like, why did you go and friend 50 busty chicks? I'm like, well, because we're Jugs Global, duh. So and a lot of times people will if you follow them, Instagram encourages you to follow them back and all that kind of stuff, and I don't really like to do that on my pages. Again, I want it to be natural, and I think that's one of the complaints that everybody has about Big Jeff, was that oh, he should earn his subscribers the hard way. And you got to understand, again, from a larger perspective, nobody cares. Okay, so Jeff is a businessman. He's there to make money, and I did chat with him over text, and he totally admitted to using bots You can purchase them overseas. You can purchase subscribers. I get the messages in my inbox all the time from not on YouTube anymore, but on Instagram. They're like, oh, you can purchase this many followers and all this kind of stuff. And I also get flooded with advertisements of these like middle-aged, not so pretty chicks with fake tits. They're like, they pay for advertising. They're paying for followers. They're like, and then also Instagram still does that bullshit where they automatically, like, if you like randomly subscribe to a bunch of people, then Instagram is like, oh, we'll just throw people on your followers. And I'm like there was some real estate bitch. She didn't have no big fake tits, and I'm like, why am I following her? I'm like, I don't remember following her, so like I unfollowed her. And Instagram still does that, where they just you can basically purchase followers. So as far as the organicness of followers go, Big Jeff didn't do anything illegal. He didn't do, is it shady? Whatever. It's just as shady as Steve Meade and Big D and all that kind of stuff. As far as like overall integrity, Jeff was very open about talking about, like I said, the bots, and then the other one was the way that he really got to a lot of his subscribers, and the way he hit 1 million was just doing giveaways. So you just go, you make a video or you do a live, and you're like, hey, if you subscribe, then you're entered for a chance to win this, whatever it is. And I'm not a fan of that, just because of, like, of course, they're raffles, because I don't like people not getting something for their $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever they're contributing. And I just don't like that idea, and so I don't do them. But there's nothing stopping you from doing them. I mean, they're obviously they're effective, because Big Jeff has over 1 million subscribers, and he's the largest subscribed car audio related creator on YouTube, and good for him. And YouTube reached out, and they're like, well, fucking Larry Fink from BlackRock reached out and was like, hey, little buddy, you are doing something good, and we're going to reward you. So it's always a weird thing, like with Mr. Beast. It's like people watch Mr. Beast and they go, oh, I would love to have, however many million subscribers he has. And you go, look at his demographic, dude. He is basically pandering to children. And, I don't know what's worse, the adults that allow that, and this, the selling of his soft drink. I watched him on some sort of panel about money, and all these people were like worshiping him for, some sort of market prowess of, like, he's a genius. It's like, dude, you're selling chocolate to children, and then you're selling what is that, Prime energy drink to children, and it's of course it's effective. It's a scumbag thing to do. That's why I don't want to ever do something like that, unless it's a parody, like in a movie, which is a great idea for a parody, by the way. Because I was in the I told you guys about the Everly the other day. It's a couple of weeks ago. We were in Walmart, and all of a sudden she was a dummy, and she bought like bottled water at Walmart for $2 each. And I was like, this is going on your tab. So, and then we went to the McDonald's drive-thru, and I got water for free. I was like, eh. But anyways, she wanted the Prime energy drink, and I was like, what the fuck is Prime? I'm like Amazon? And she's like, no. It's a energy drink for children. I'm like, children do not need an energy drink. That is insane. And then on that financial panel, Mr. Beast was like, well, it's better than other ones, because otherwise we're just selling the same garbage. And I'm like, you're still selling the same garbage. You're just taking advantage of people who don't know better, and who sit there and beg their parents to buy them this stupid drink. So again, it's the same problem that I see with like Big D Wiz, and just basically people exploiting other people. And then a lot of people that do that then justify their behavior by saying, oh, this is capitalism. Capitalism does not need to be predatory. Capitalism is simply about letting the market set the price, which we do not practice capitalism for corporations here in this country. The government creates monopolies for people all the time. Look at dairy. Dairy has like they get subsidies. That's why milk is cheap. Beef farmers get subsidies. That's why beef is cheap. That's all subsidized by the government to keep it affordable and to keep everything flowing the way that it is. There's lots of problems with this country because of subsidies, and then the downside is, if it's pure capitalism, it's like Bitcoin. It's like fucking all over the place. Even though Bitcoin's slowed it too, because who was it? BlackRock and a bunch of other banks are totally balls deep into that shit. And if you ever were planning on the Fed having a meltdown and the banks having their way and basically saving the Fed, Bitcoin is definitely the way to go. But make sure you buy your own Bitcoin though, like on your Bitcoin wallet. Don't just buy it through Cash App, because that you're not really buying Bitcoin on Cash App. You're just buying basically a mark in the ledger, and it's not even like the Bitcoin ledger. It's Cash App's, which is Square, which is Block. It's just a mark in their ledger, so it's a private ledger. So it's just they just keep track of who has what, and the whole thing is basically fluff and fake. However, if like what happened in Holland, if the price of tulips is going to go up, do you pass up that opportunity? Right? There's a guy that I worked with, COVID hit, and he's like, go to the dollar store and buy me all the masks they have. And I was like, I don't understand why. He's like, we're going to need masks. And I was like, I go, dude, do you really want to be like, scalping for masks? And he's like, if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. I'm like, that's not a good excuse. That's not justification. He's like, you could easily make 10 grand. And I'm like, I'm not making 10 grand off of other people suffering. No, thank you. And so, and of course you saw that in the most infamous case is that guy that bought and hoarded the hand sanitizer, and then he was selling it for like $20-$30 a bottle on Amazon, and then which Amazon is fine with, by the way, because they get their cut, but people flagged it, and then the government's like, that's price gouging, like that's bad, right? But what the oil companies do to us, and everybody else does to us, like big pharma, that's okay, again, because the government gets their cut. All right, so going back to fake subscribers about Big Jeff didn't do anything wrong. Right now, that is within the rules of the game, and it's fine. It's fine. There's really no issue about it. Stupid JP for Down for Sound does the same thing. I can't tell you how many times I've had to block somebody on Facebook in a Facebook group because I'm a moderator on a lot of those, admin on a lot of those groups, because I've been doing this for so long. I just fucking block them. I'm like, nope, none of that shit. Because JP sits there and tells you guys, hey, if you post this to your social media, blah, 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 we'll enter you into a, drawing for some stupid Down for Sound thing. And, somebody else pointed out that JP actually charges, I think, $400 for him to personally pull and pack your order. Okay. Like, somebody pointed out, like, how full of yourself do you need to be in order to offer that? You got to understand who JP is and wants to be. He's a predator, and that's what predators do. Now, sometimes, like in sports, being a predator is praised and rewarded. Society is at a point where we don't really need predators. What we really need is cooperation and empathy and compassion. Until the aliens are invading, then it's us versus them. But until then, how about we just find everybody a place to live, and maybe help them not do drugs, and maybe help them fulfill some of their dreams so that they can be productive and just worthwhile citizens of the planet. those are my ideas. Do they make a lot of money? No. But again, money for me, and this is just me, this is what I've discovered, is that money is just a means for energy storage. So I was listening to these TikToks, and they were talking about, what really is money, and money is just a sort of a calculation, or again, it's just a ledger. It's a bookkeeper of people's time and their sacrifice, and what does that really mean? Again, it's just a representation. As far as, a stack of $100 bills, are they really worth anything? No, they're only worth something of what people are willing to accept of them. Right now, is it fucked up that the Fed demanded that these be accepted, these notes, these IOUs be accepted for? Well, I got to turn soon, but these notes, they're notes. They're not bills. They're not dollar bills. Those are notes. They say Federal Reserve note right on them, and they have no bones about them as far as telling you that they're fucking you in the butthole right in front of you, because they own you, and they act like they own everybody. So, but again, one of the ways that I can say, what, fuck you, I don't want your money, is don't chase it. That's all. I still use it. I'm not against money. I would love for there to be some other way that's more fair, because the Fed cheats. They even talk about it. Like, they're like 2% inflation per year is fine. Well, that 2% is them skimming. So when you're skimming on, I don't know, like $20 trillion a year, that's a pretty big skim. And that's what pays for, sex slaves and yachts and all kinds of other dumb bullshit that, again, doesn't really need to exist and doesn't really serve a purpose. But it exists right now, and that's the way it goes, and it's going to exist like that until the people organize, rise up, and say enough of this fucking bullshit, and then create a better platform for people to transact. That was supposed to be Bitcoin, but again, people want to molest that too, and so they cranked the price up over 50 grand for one Bitcoin. That was crazy. But or whatever it peaked to, I forget. I don't really watch it anymore. It's just a shit show. But anyways, somebody had asked me to talk about Big Jeff, and as far as Big Jeff goes, and as far as my opinion of him, he's just another vendor. And as far as his content goes, I'm not really a fan of it. Personally, I'm not a fan of anybody that wears like a big gold chain and a bunch of rings. That's just my opinion. Again, this is the truck I drive. And when I vacuum it, it's fancy, right? That's it. I don't need anything else. I want to be minimal. And again, it's not about the environment. It's not about anything like that. It's just about focusing my energy on what's important. And so then you have to decide, right? That's where the discipline comes in. That's where I don't want to call them hard choices. It's not like fucking Sophie's Choice. Jesus Christ. It's just about discipline. Oh, actually, I need to turn here. I'm just going to turn. See what happens. Nothing. There's the Wendy's. God damn it. I'm still hungry. All right, so I'm going to go eat. But anyways, again, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. If you want to subscribe, whatever. I wanted to talk about the bottom line of Big Jeff. So again, Big Jeff is a businessman. He's doing it for the money. And if it costs him, let's say 20 grand, if it costs him 20 grand to get 1 million subscribers, is it worth it? Yes, absolutely. He told me that his monthly went from 100 to 300. So we're talking about 1,000. So it went from 100,000 a month to 300,000 a month. So was it worth the 20 grand that he paid for the subscribers? Absolutely. So again, that's what Big Jeff is there to do. He's there to capitalize, and that's always going to happen in a niche market. So by the way, and the fact that JL got bought for a couple $100 million just tells you that Wall Street is coming for niche markets like that. and that anybody can come in. As far as Wall Street goes, big bankers, leveraged buyouts, things like that, they can come in with a bunch of money and just take over the whole market. That's what BlackRock did with real estate. They're going to do it with Bitcoin. So when there's real money on the table and the industry is developed enough to figure out how to extract money out of consumers, of course that's something to buy for them. They just want to be able to put down however many $1 million and then pick up, like 10x. That's all they want to do. So, and if it costs people their jobs, they don't care. That's society's problem. That's not their problem. And so I just want you guys to be aware of that sort of behavior whenever you chase paper. Again, somebody's got to pay for that. Somebody. As I'm sitting here looking at fucking Chase Bank. Look into the history of Chase Bank and JP Morgan. Look at some of the things that they've done, right? Absolute killing people for money, for control, pulling people's teeth out for their gold. Not a fan of that. So, do I end up hating money? No. That's the key. These people, the bankers, want you to hate money so that you remain poor and that you remain ineffective, not dangerous. But there are other ways to be more dangerous. But again, you get a bunch of money in the hands of someone like me. Again, I'm not going to be flashy. I'm not going to do something. Certainly not going to buy weapons. That's the dumbest thing in this society right now. A lot of the guys that I talked to recently about the getting the vaccine, they're like, I got my weapons. It's like, you dummy. This is a virus that they're going to give to everybody. And if you don't take the vaccine, it's going to kill you. They don't need a gun. They don't need a tank. That's too much drama. These guys are just, again, they can pay for the extermination of, 5 billion people, whatever they want to whittle it down to, whatever they think chaff is. They don't care. They don't care if you got guns. There's a way around that. So again, if the revolutionary is to survive, the revolutionary cannot be killed. So do your best to survive until there's a better day where you can figure out, even just to survive, and continue the resistance, and share your knowledge, share your insight with other people. And that's what I'm doing with this channel. I hope that you guys find insight in these videos, even though they're this one's fucking 32 minutes. And what's it about? It's about fucking Big Jeff. But at the end, I hope you guys learn something, and you can take that into your lives, and it becomes of value, right? Hopefully it saves your life. That's what I really want to see. But anyways, speaking of killing yourself, I'm going to go have some Wendy's real quick and head out to Recoil. And I'll do a video later today at the warehouse and show you some of the new products that's coming in. So anyways, I love you guys. Talk to you later.